Cameras everywhere, man. Got cameras everywhere. Let's see. Okay. How about a remarkable flying machine? That's a good one. I will be back momentarily. Enjoy.
Sunday, April 12th, 1981. Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The Space Shuttle. 14 stories high, 2,000 tons, poised on the pad for its maiden flight. This is Columbia, the spaceship that will orbit the Earth. Its external tank. It holds over 500,000 gallons of fuel for Columbia's 3 main engines. And the solid rocket boosters, the largest ever used on any launch vehicle and the first to be employed in a U.S. manned flight. At liftoff, the solid rocket boosters, together with the 3 main engines, will unleash more than 6.5 million pounds of thrust needed to launch the world's first reusable spacecraft. Never before has a winged vehicle been launched like a rocket, orbited the Earth, returned through frictional heating in excess of 2,500 degrees, and landed, still aerodynamically sound, to be launched again and again. If it succeeds, the space shuttle will truly be a remarkable flying machine. There are many other goals to be reached during the 54.5-hour mission that lies ahead. 144 test objectives are planned for the flight. These objectives could not be achieved without an astronaut crew. The commander, John Young. The pilot, Robert Crippen. Young has already been in space 4 times for a total of 533 hours. He is the most experienced astronaut flying today. Although Crippen has over 4,000 hours of jet aircraft flying time, this will be his first time in space. The astronauts make their way across the access arm toward the shuttle in the pre-dawn hours before launch. An American spaceship has never carried a human crew on its maiden voyage. At the Launch Control Center, 3 miles from the pad, final steps are being completed in the countdown. Final preparations are also being made in the Mission Control Center in Houston, where control of the flight will switch once the shuttle clears the tower. There has not been a manned launch from Kennedy Space Center since the Apollo-Soyuz test project in July of 1975. With this launch, Young and Crippen, launch controllers at the Cape, and flight controllers in Houston will experience the most dynamic, fast-paced series of launch events ever undertaken in the space program, all in less than 9 minutes. The most challenging ascent profile ever to be flown by a space vehicle. Photographers, film and television crews, plus newspaper and magazine writers from around the world, nearly 2,700 of them are here to cover the launch. In addition, approximately 600,000 spectators line the coastal area near the Kennedy Space Center. Arriving by every mode of transportation, they have come from every state in the Union and many foreign countries. Promise of a rebirth in America's manned space program and the dawn of a new era in space transportation awaits.
14, 13, T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start.
roll.
The roll will put the shuttle on its precise heading toward an imaginary target in space.
Roll program complete.
Roger, roll complete.
Negative status. Vital. Go. Booster. Go. GNC. Go. Eagle. Go. Go at 40, Capcom.
Columbia, Houston, you're go at 40.
The shuttle is now 40 seconds into flight.
Roger, Columbia, on the nice ride. You're lofting a little bit. You'll probably be slightly high at staging.
Negative seats.
Columbia, you're negative seats.
Should anything
Discovery,
go
go
wrong,
at throttle.
the shuttle is now too high for the astronauts to use their ejection seats.
Columbia, you're go for SRB SEP.
We see SRB SEP flight. Roger, on a SEP. 103 converge flight. Vet. Capcom, let's tell them all the calls are going to be a tad early because of the hot first stage.
Columbia, you're looking a little hot. All your calls will be a little early.
Okay. Okay, map looks good here.
Stand by, press to MECO.
Columbia, stand by. Press to MECO.
Mark it.
Mark, press for MECO.
Roger, press for MECO.
The shuttle can now continue toward MECO, main engine cutoff.
They like the VAP, Eagle. ECOM.
Let's go, flight.
Capcom, VAPs go. Stand by, negative return.
Columbia, stand by for negative return.
Mark it.
Mark, negative return. And your VAP is good.
Outstanding. Sure is, we can confirm it. Oh, what a view.
And single engine rotor flight.
And Columbia, your single engine rota.
Columbia can land safely at the Naval Air Station in Rota, Spain, even if 2 of the 3 main engines
Discovery,
should fail.
go at throttle up.
Right now, the engines are generating over 42 million horsepower.
At MECO, 25, 6,
MECO.
0, up at 220
Roger, MECO. And we got MECO confirmed. MECO
Roger,
confirmed, and
Columbia,
it's
MECO.
right on the money, nominal.
Main engine cutoff. Columbia is now in space, traveling over 18,000 miles per hour.
Okay, we got set.
Roger, we confirm the SEP, Columbia.
The external tank has just been jettisoned and is now falling away from the shuttle back toward Earth. The tank will break up as planned over the Indian Ocean when it comes into contact with the atmosphere. Shortly, by firing the OMS, Orbital Maneuvering System engines, Columbia will achieve orbit. Then one of the most important tests of the mission will be attempted, opening the payload bay doors. The doors must be opened before the end of the 6th orbit to expose the space radiator cooling system. If the radiators cannot be exposed, heat collected from the onboard electronics cannot be released, and the astronauts will have to return home. The OMS burns are successful. Columbia is now in orbit, circling the Earth at an altitude of approximately 150 miles. The payload bay doors will now be opened.
Okay, the port door's coming open now.
Roger, copy.
Well, you are missing one fantastic sight. Boy, that is really beautiful out there.
We appreciate those updates.
Both doors have been opened. The radiators can be deployed to begin dissipating the heat.
The doors are all opened up and hunky-dory. Glad to deploy it right on time.
And the radiators look good.
Okay, we want to show you our own spots here. We do have a few tile missing off of both of them, off of the starboard pod, 3 tile and some smaller pieces, and off the port pod, looks like I see 1 full square and looks like a few little triangular shapes that are missing, and we're trying to put that on TV right now.
Roger, Crip, we can see that good.
From what we can see of both wings, tops and leading edges, though, there's all those are fully intact.
Within minutes, an assessment is completed on the impact these missing tiles could have on the remainder of the mission. At a news conference later in the day, Flight Director Neil Hutchison answers questions from reporters.
But you asked me if I knew where there were any other tiles that might be loose. The answer is no. And quite frankly, we're not worried about any other tiles being loose.
At this writing, is there anything at all that would lead you to say you might not go for a full duration mission?
Nothing.
Columbia, Houston, you guys did so good, we're going to let you stay up there for a couple of days. Your gopher on orbit.
Spacecraft must go for on orbit. This thing is just performing just outstanding.
Roger, we agree with that. And Columbia, Houston, just for your information, you dropped those SRBs right on target, and they were floating just the way they ought to be, and the boats were getting ready to fish them and bring them back.
Okay. The ride that they gave us was pretty neat.
The solid rocket boosters, which separated from the Columbia as planned 2 minutes 11 seconds into the flight, landed on target in the Atlantic Ocean, 151 miles downrange from the launch site. After being towed back to Kennedy Space Center, both boosters will be refurbished and used again in a future shuttle flight. The 3rd and 4th OMS burns are also successful, raising Columbia's orbit to an altitude of approximately 172 miles. For the first television transmission from inside the spacecraft, the crew will give a status report on the mission.
The flight so far has gone as smooth as it could possibly go. We've done every test that we're supposed to do, and we're up on the timeline, and the vehicle has just been performing beautifully, much better than anyone ever expected to do on a first flight, and no systems are out of shape. And it's delightful up here in zero gravity, I might add. Of course, we owe this to a lot of people, so we certainly want to thank everyone who has helped get this thing airborne, and can take great pride in it's doing so well right now. Okay, we're switching over to the aft camera here. I'd like to echo John's words as I usually do. I guess being the so-called rookie on this flight, I had a thrill from the moment of liftoff all the way up to what we're doing now. It's really been super. The spacecraft has worked as advertised all the way along. I think we've got something that's really going to mean something to the country and the world. This vehicle is performing like a champ, like all of us that have worked so long on it knew that you would.
Okay, sir, we appreciate those comments.
I guess that does it.
That was a good time, and I think you must have practiced. We're just about to lose your ghost song.
Just accident.
Just accident, says Robert Crippen. None of the other events of the day have been accidental. Every test, liftoff, SRB separation and recovery, ET separation and impact, 4 OMS burns, payload bay door latch opening and closing tests, radiator latch deploy and stowing tests have all been successful.
I guess we owe you guys one super attaboy for today. This is fantastic. You worked through a pretty long, hard day, and you're essentially right on schedule, which is going to be close to being a first sort of spaceflight biz, I think, for first day activities. It's sure been fun working with you today, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning. I hope you get a good night's rest.
Okay, you guys did super work today. See you mañana.
Roger, thank you. See you tomorrow, guys.
Well, many, many hours this thing. A job well done by the shuttle space team. We can't say that she's sleek and lean, but I'll tell you right now, she's a mean machine. The Columbia, not the kind you smoke. This here's a bird.
Morning, Columbia. Welcome to day 2.
All right. Appreciate that super wake-up music this morning. Well, we sure enjoyed it. Missing a good breakfast.
Today, the astronauts will test onboard systems and also review procedures for tomorrow's landing. A test of the flight control system is conducted by John Young. The flight control system operates Columbia's aero surfaces, the elevons, body flaps, rudder, and speed brake. These surfaces are useless in the vacuum of space, but will be essential tomorrow when the shuttle lands. This will require precision maneuverability, which the aero surfaces provide. Payload bay door cycling tests help ensure that latching and closing procedures can also be done before entry tomorrow. As with every mission, many pictures of the Earth are taken by the astronauts. Over 500 on this first shuttle flight. Active volcanoes, cloud formations, alluvial fans, giant whirlpools over 15 miles in diameter, sand dunes 1,500 feet high, running unbroken for hundreds of miles. The high Himalayas, where mountain peaks reach 24,000 feet. And one of the most remarkable space photographs ever taken of the Earth, an area in Iran exposed to wind erosion, which has resulted in these breathtaking silt and sandstone formations that look more like a painting than a desert. After lunch on the second day, the astronauts receive a phone call from the Vice President of the United States, George Bush.
How's it going up there? Everything rocking along all right?
Spaceship is just performing beautifully.
Well, it's great, and everybody views it, I'm sure, just as the forerunner of great things to come. I think your trip is just going to ignite the excitement and the forward thinking from this country, so I really just wanted to call up and wish you the very best.
We certainly appreciate it, Mr. Vice President.
The crew also don and check out the ejection suits they will wear during entry. Young, Crippen, and Columbia pass every test. They are ready for the final phase of the mission, entry and landing. April 14th, 1981. NASA's Dryden Flight Research Center on the edge of Rogers Dry Lake Bed in California. A recovery convoy of 24 vehicles and more than 100 personnel are assembling here to power down Columbia after landing. Enormous crowds are also beginning to arrive. A string of traffic 6 miles long waits to enter the base. Thousands more are already here. Close to 500,000 people will eventually be on hand to see the landing. On board, the astronauts suit up for entry. The ascent and orbital phases of the mission have gone extremely well. Now the final phase must be completed. Before that begins,
Columbia, you have a go for payload bay door closing.
the doors, which have been open a total of 47 hours during the flight, must now be closed. Then, using the RCS thrusters, Columbia will maneuver into deorbit burn attitude, head down and backwards, fire the OMS engines one last time, and descend into the Earth's atmosphere.
Nice and easy does it, John. We're all riding with you.
Columbia is out of contact during the OMS burn. Mission Control will not know if this burn was successful until they are in communication with the spacecraft over Australia. It is now over the Indian Ocean on the other side of the world. But from that distance, the burn must be precise, so that later, Columbia will hit the lake bed target in California.
Columbia, this is Houston through Yargady. We're standing by.
Burn was on time at nominal residual 110.
Columbia is now committed to entry. With an RCS post-burn maneuver and several firings, it is oriented to a heads-up, nose-first attitude headed toward entry interface. This is where the atmosphere begins, at approximately 400,000 feet. From that moment until the shuttle reaches 165,000 feet, it will be in communication blackout, out of touch with mission control for almost 20 minutes. The landing site is almost 4,400 miles from entry interface. Chase planes are preparing to take off. One will call out altitudes and check Columbia for any damage just prior to landing. When the shuttle touches down here, it will be traveling at 216 miles per hour. Right now it's going more than 17,000 miles per hour. Before it lands, it must slow down, lose energy, and it must survive the intense heat caused by traveling through the atmosphere at such a high rate of speed. Several S-turns or roll reversals are used to slow down and maneuver Columbia through the atmosphere. This one is done at 256,000 feet when it is traveling at more than 26 times the speed of sound. This one is done at 208,000 feet. During these two roll reversals, entry heating is most severe, with temperatures reaching 2,500 degrees some places on the vehicle. The aluminum skin will melt at 320 degrees. The silicate tiles must insulate the vehicle from the tremendous heat. Since there is no test facility on Earth to simulate the aerodynamic and structural environment Columbia is in right now, only calculations could be used to predict what would happen during this phase of the flight. The predictions and calculations had to be right.
Hello there, Houston, Columbia's here.
Hello, Columbia, Houston's here. How do you read?
Land clear, and we're doing Mach 10.3 at 180 AS.
And we couldn't agree more, John. Your state vector's good. We've got good data in-house.
Okay.
The entry trajectory, velocity, and position look good. Columbia is heading for home, now only 470 miles away.
More left RCS, but okay.
Right, we're showing a roll. And John, we're showing you rolling right. Looking good.
Right, normal roll.
We're showing him crossing the coastline flat.
Columbia, we show you crossing the coast now.
Right, yeah. We can come.
The shuttle is first sighted at about 100,000 feet with a long-range camera from Anderson Peak, California.
What a way to come to California.
In flat paddle, I still look perfect right on the nominal.
Roger that. Out of 112K, 4.8 Mach.
Push me up this in a row.
We see Del as 21 degrees.
A roll reversal is done over Bakersfield, California.
Oh, that's beautiful. Chase has a tally. Roger, checking.
And we're seeing 1.3 Gs coming around the hack.
Roger that.
The astronauts are making the final turn to line up with the runway.
Columbia, you're really looking good. Right on the money. Right on the money. And turning on to final, your winds on the surface are calm.
Back on the wind.
You're right on the glide slope, Columbia.
Yeah, clear, John.
Looks real good underneath. Everything looks real good.
Chase reports no tile or other damage is evident underneath the shuttle. Columbia's altitude is now just over 5,000 feet.
Pretty clear.
Discovery.
Without power, Columbia must land. It cannot make another attempt.
You're coming. You're down. Feet. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Those gears, come. 5, 4, 3, touchdown. Hook them off, skipper.
Columbia's on the roller.
Welcome home, Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful.
You'll have to take it up to hangar, Joe.
We're going to dust it off first.
This is the world's greatest all-electric flying machine, I'll tell you that. It was super.
Okay, convoy's on its way.
Convoy on. We'll stop on the Columbia. We'll stop.
The maiden voyage of Columbia has been a success. The astronauts and the vehicle have met or exceeded all 144 flight test objectives. The integrity of all the systems, propulsion, avionics, structural, flight control, power, and thermal, have been affirmed. John Young's comments after returning home.
I can't tell you what a tribute that is to the American working man and the American working woman, too. You can't imagine the variety of people who worked on this vehicle, from all walks of life, all capabilities and limitations. It's all due to their individual efforts. They proved that they can do the job. They proved it for the world to see. And I'm mighty proud to be associated with folks like that.
What a tribute indeed. The Columbia represents an achievement in aerospace technology and development never before realized in the history of manned spaceflight. It is our basic building block for the future.
It's what we've been trying to do for the last 10 years. We've got a vehicle with a payload performance that will allow us to do that, much cheaper than we've been able to do it before. It will immeasurably improve the defensive capability of the country. It will help develop space science and technology. When we get operational, the space shuttle will be able to do in 5 to 10 years what it would have taken us 20 to 30 years to do otherwise. We couldn't do it if we didn't have the space shuttle and that payload capability. And the sooner we do those things, the better off the country's going to be.
A revolutionary new era in space transportation has just begun. Routine access to space. Welcome to the future.
I miss that thing so goddamn much. I miss it so much. I can't let it go. I miss it so much. Why? I miss that thing so much. It just, you gotta let go. No, you cannot let go. No. I don't think I've ever heard what your opinion on the Shuttle Block 2 was. A death trap is the end of that sentence. What was the touchdown speed of a shuttle on a scale of single prop Cessna to SR-71? Touchdown somewhere north of 200 miles an hour. Yeah, it's like 215, 230 miles an hour, somewhere in there. Basically about 200 knots. Dude, it's fast. And it doesn't look like it's going fast. And that just goes to show you how big that thing actually is. I mean, if you guys haven't seen a shuttle, I mean, it'll blow your mind. The thing is huge. I mean, look at it compared to the T-38 right there. The T-38 could fit in the payload bay. It's freaking gigantic. Like, I've seen all of them. I've seen all the shuttles. All the shuttles that I can. I've seen parts of Columbia, if that helps. I've seen Discovery, I've seen Atlantis, I've seen Endeavour, I've seen Enterprise. They're freaking huge. They're huge. How long was it from STS-1 to STS-2? STS-2 was in 1982, T-Man, so it was about a year, actually. Yeah. Yeah, Ren, because it's a freaking G. Look at that thing. It's Chad tier. Oh, dude, what an amazing machine that is. Yeah, I know, Tessa. Yeah. Ugh, dude. Yeah. Really, I never heard what the problems were. First of all, it's paper Aqualex. They never. It's a paper rocket, so it doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned. In terms of having an ejectable crew tank, that's. Yeah, a radial ejector seat does not sound like a good idea. If you've seen Atlantis, you've seen at least one piece of Challenger. I've seen all of them, Thomas, technically, or pieces of all of them. If you really want to be technical, how do they seal the landing gear door seams? Oh, right there. Oh, easy. The landing thermal. They use thermal to make the seal. The shuttle has shim tiles, Helfus. The tiles are about, I don't know, eighth of an inch shim between the tiles, because the shuttle will heat up during re-entry and the aluminum body will expand. And when it expands, the tiles will butt up against each other. That's why the tiles have spaces in between them when you see it on the ground. The door, those door panels are made out of aluminum. They expand and seal. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? What the heck is the point of shuttle 2? Just landed normally. Guys, I think if, honestly, you know what? I'll go ahead and say it. I think if we just made a modern version of this, it would be amazing. Either that, Aqualex, or Venture Star. Venture Star would be insane. It's a giant piston ring. Nice. Yep. Yeah. Helvish, I mean, you'd be surprised how often it works like that. You know, oh, we can't get a good seal? All right, use physics to your advantage. Just like the hydrogen seat on SLS. That's the same idea. It seems that the doors are also angled. Yeah, they go inward. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Phil, sure. Yeah, I'll tee that up. The shuttle on top of a VFR? No, I honestly think if we did this, if we did something like this would be useful. We made something just like the shuttle, like literally just made the shuttle over again, with composite SRBs and all the new material science research and design that we've done since then. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. I mean, dude, yeah, look at how big this freaking thing is. It's a freaking monster. Yeah, Starship is basically that, MotoKid. That's why I'm like okay with it, because I'm fine with Starship. Starship's going to be fantastic. I also want to point out, fellas, the pitching moment that affects the shuttle at high rate of speed towards the ground. So, look, the shuttle's nose is way up in the air, right? We're talking about, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees off zero, right? Look at the control surfaces. I've never pointed this out to you guys before. I always, because I'm usually muted when we see this part, I always forget to. Look at the control surfaces. They're straight up, that's pitched down. That's pitched down. If the control surfaces are down, that means you want to try to put the nose down. The shuttle, to fly like that, you had to pitch forward, because there's a huge pitching moment when you pull the nose up like that, the shuttle basically wants to do this. So you have to compensate for that. Twitch is getting rid of hosts. All right, I don't host people anyway. If you started making a new shuttle today, it probably wouldn't fly until at least 2040. Yeah. Yeah. Way to say a lot of words and add nothing to the conversation, Jim. Good job. Flip up nerd question. Has NASA always used the high tones during communication? Kindar tones. Yep. It's to let people know when someone's keying the mic. See, dude, look at it compared to the trucks and stuff. That's my favorite part. This also shows, this also conveys the scale pretty well. I mean, look at it. The people look like freaking Oompa Loompas compared to this thing. Dream Chaser at the end of the year still a thing? Maybe. Look at it compared to the freaking trucks. Yeah, RS-25s, I tell people, RS-25s are like a Mack truck worth of mass attached to the back of the shuttle. Look at the nozzle on the shuttle engine compared to that truck. That's an F-250 right there. That's not a small truck. It looks tiny compared to it, though. It looks like a Ford Ranger compared to the shuttle. Freaking monster. There's this shot of John Young walking around here. You guys know freaking how hyped up he is, right? Yeah, it'll show him walking around it again here. Oh man, did you see that thing? I flew the trash out of that thing. That is a happy astronaut, man. That's a happy astronaut. Dude, look at it from that angle. Freaking huge. That's my favorite. It's my favorite, dudes. It's my favorite how fired up he is. Because, okay, so for the people that don't know, John Young was like Kimi Räikkönen of astronauts, you know. People ask him like, hey, how do you feel about flying the first space shuttle? He'd be like, good. Good, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. They're really amazing. I'd really like a shuttle with some RS-25E performance on it, but I understand it's not. I get it. It's designed for us. I get it, but also, yeah, I think it's pretty crazy. I'd love to know how successful the shuttle could have been. Best case scenario. It needed a more robust testing regime, Zeros. This thing, they needed to fly this thing on test missions. Yeah, they just needed to fly it more on test missions. You had to, four flights was not enough to evaluate the performance of the vehicle. I mean, maybe if it was a regular rocket, like if it was SLS, 4 flights would be more than enough. Or like the Saturn V, more than enough, way more than enough. But since it's something like the shuttle, and you do have somewhat of an aircraft component to it, and the intention is to fly it like an airplane, it needed a way more robust testing regime, like way more robust. That's my big thing. It's what I always tell people, guys. They developed that thing with the same budget as the Gemini program, adjusted for inflation, of course. Yeah, the Gemini program, which is building a space capsule, an analog space capsule, might I add, on top of a converted ICBM. Not even a converted ICBM. It's pretty much the same. A Titan II. The budget for that, basically the budget for just a space capsule, they built this thing. NASA designed that thing for the same price, which is just absolutely absurd. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The shuttle should have been tested more. It should have been tested way more. There were like that's it. It should have just been tested more. That's all I have to say. What would have fixed it, Zeros, is, dude, they should have put those shuttle engines on the test stand every day. Every day. You needed, like, basically what SpaceX does with Raptors. They should have done that. Put those things out on the stand every day. Fire them till they break. You know? Yeah, Aqualex, exactly. If your intention is for it to work like an airplane, why don't we test it like an airplane? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand it's not an airplane. It's a space plane. Differences. Like, that's a totally different thing. And I get it. I get it. I understand. But, you know, you want to push the envelope like that, you're going to have to incorporate new ways of doing it, you know? It's like, yeah, every one of those things should have been, like, all the engines, they should have been pushed to the absolute freaking limit, like, on the daily. The sound is much improved with the ceiling installed. Zero echo. Yep. Yeah, no. It's way better, dude. And I have a noise suppressor on, so you can't hear the AC. I basically blank the AC out. So if I stop talking, it gets... Not bad, huh? So, yeah, the acoustics should be way better in here. Like, way better. Anyway, I could sit here and talk about the shuttle all day. So how about we start the day with SLS update. Everyone's looking for it. And I'm probably going to have to do an SLS update 3 or 4 times through this space news. And that's okay. So let's take a look. Yeah, F1 will be after space news.
With Ars Technica.
Tell exactly where
this is
where
from
we
the
may
presser.
need to do some work.
Thank you. Eric Berger with Ars Technica.
2 quick ones about the hydrogen. First of all, maybe Mike, if I was standing there with a bucket and some cryogenic proof gloves, like how quickly would it fill the bucket? Just want to sort of get a sense of the magnitude of the leak. You've called it a large leak. And then for Senator Nelson, you know, when you were writing the authorization bill in 2010, sort of setting up this space launch system, did you have concerns about the continued use of hydrogen due to its leaky nature and your experience with it on shuttle? Thanks.
Well, I'll answer that right out. I, and along with Senator Kay Bailey Hutchinson, along with our folks in the White House, deferred to the people who best knew the systems. And so the answer to your question is no. We did not have any question about hydrogen. We deferred to the experts.
Yeah, and Eric, to answer.
Can I just point out, Bill doesn't usually seem like the kind of guy to shoot daggers out of his eyes, but also
question about hydrogen. We deferred to the experts.
But also I don't think I've ever seen that guy that annoyed. Ever. That's the you. That's the he's like, I think that you done messed up. You done messed up, a Ron. Yeah, yep. You tonight. You. Like that is the look of an unhappy NASA administrator. Like that. I've never seen him pissed. He's always got a jolly good old smile on like this. I tell you, NASA is the best place to work. I'm voted 10 times out of 10. 60% of the time, it's the best place to work. Every time. This guy smiles in congressional testimony, in Senate congressional meetings. He's smiling the entire time. He ain't smiling there. He ain't smiling there. He ain't smiling there. Yeah, yeah. He's like, that is the look of a man who just went to the snack bar and all the pudding's gone. And he's finding, where's the guy that ate all the pudding? I'm going to find him and I will challenge him to a duel. Yeah, that's right, Motor Kid. I made sure that we got it right 100% of the time. What's Mike saying?
To answer your question about how large is the leak, I wouldn't use a bucket analogy on that one. It really is a concentration. You know, when you have a fuel source in atmospheric air that contains roughly 20% oxygen, when you mix the two, all you need is an ignition source to close the fire triangle. So we know that when you get above roughly a 4% concentration of hydrogen in ambient air, you're at risk of having a flammability event or a flammability hazard. We were seeing in excess of that by probably 2 or 3 orders of magnitude today. So I'm sorry, not orders of magnitude, two or three times our acceptable concentration limit. So it was pretty clear that we weren't going to be able to work our way through it like we did on Monday in terms of the managing of the leak. Every time we saw the leak, it was a large leak that immediately exceeded our flammability limits. So, you know, again, a couple of techniques were tried, and we just couldn't get there today.
Okay. All right. I've seen enough. So, SLS did attempt to launch on Saturday. If you weren't here, it was a fun stream. We had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it did end in a scrub, which does kind of suck, but probably should X out of Minecraft. It did end in a scrub. Long story short, they had problems with a seal on the fuel line on the carrier umbilical assembly. So the tail surface mass carrier umbilical plate has a catch can on it, and that catch can is designed to get hydrogen leaks. When hydrogen does leak, it does not leak as a liquid. When hydrogen is in liquid form, it moves around just like any other cryogenic fluid. The problem with hydrogen is that it evaporates really, 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 really easily. There is only a very short area where hydrogen is a liquid. And that's like 5 to 15 Kelvin. So that's really, really, really cold. Hydrogen exists as a liquid almost near absolute zero, which if you speak physicist is kind of like, that's weird, man. And even then, hydrogen will only stay nice and stable as a liquid for like maybe 2 or 3 degrees. So if you have really, really cold hydrogen and you flow it through a really warm pipe, it'll evaporate. And at the seals on the pipe, basically where where you put the fuel into the rocket, that one of the seals in there was not cooperating. It was leaking too much into the catch can. Now, I want to point out that like it's not like they're, you know, like spraying fuel all over the pad, or hydrogen, like liquid hydrogen is leaking, or gaseous hydrogen is just leaking out. In rocketry, hydrogen gas is considered a hazardous gas. It's called HazGas. And that is, yeah, they have the catch can there, and that catch can leads to the giant Bunsen burner that is sitting next to the pad. And what that does is basically it creates a vacuum, and all those lines, the catch can and the recirculator is designed to go to that Bunsen burner. It's called a purge flame. And that's where that catch can leads to. So it's not like they were leaking hydrogen all over the pad. And second part is they weren't leaking a liquid. Hydrogen doesn't leak as a liquid. If hydrogen touches the atmosphere, it'll immediately evaporate. Like immediately. Yes, I has gas. Has gas. No, that's something different. That's something different. Yeah, minus 170 C, Alucard. Yeah, and it's only for a couple of degrees in either direction that it stays as a liquid. You know, if you go any further, it turns to solid hydrogen, and then you hit absolute zero, and bad stuff starts happening. You go any further, like you go 2 degrees hotter, right? Warmer, I should say. You go 2 degrees warmer, you go to 265 C, gas, instant gas. Hazardous gas, or has gas is what it's called, Eagle. Yeah. When I eat too much pudding, I get has gas. Yep. Yeah, you got to worry about that. You need a catch can attached to that so you don't have to worry about leaking hazardous flammable gases out of your bunghole. All right, cool. Now that I've shown everybody I'm secretly 15, we are going to move on. Don't tell anybody, okay? I heard that there was an overpressure event. Yeah, Aqualex, I'm getting to that. I'm dying. That was well done. Sorry. You do that freakishly well? I'm sorry. So Jeff Faust has an update from the same press conference here, and I give Jeff Faust the benefit of the doubt every time. That guy really knows what he's talking about. So let's read. Let's read what's going on. We all knew already. Yeah, I just thought I would clarify, because when you have pudding, it just makes for a lot of hazardous gas. So Harry, for 58. Well, no, it's yeah, okay. I think there was a question about that earlier in the conference. Well, it's Jeff Faust's question, Novus, which is why I just jumped right to sauce. Give me the sauce! Give me the sauce, fool! All right, anyway. So, this is an update from Jim Free, who is in charge of NASA's Exploration Systems Development. Basically, NASA's human spaceflight R&D, for the most part. It's not called R&D, it's called Exploration Systems Development, or ESD for short. Jim is the guy that runs the whole thing. What is he saying? Jim says we won't launch in this period, which ends on Tuesday. What happens in the next 2 periods, late September, early October, and then mid to late October, will depend on options the team comes up with by Monday or Tuesday. Mike Seraphin says here's the interesting part. Inadvertent overpressurization of hydrogen line during chill down. Can't rule out that the quick disconnect fitting saw some of the effects of that, but it's too early to tell. Seraphin ruled out doing a demate and remate at the pad, looking at options to remove and replace the quick disconnect fitting at the pad or inside of the VAB. Lots of details still to be determined on the repair plans, including what needs to be replaced and where that work will take place. About the overpressurization, the wrong valve was commanded and rectified in about 3 to 4 seconds. Careful to say it's not necessarily the cause of the LH2 leak. More analysis is needed. Okay. Jim Free, if FDS is extended and leak can be repaired on the pad, still have to look at the issues of Orion life on the pad to see if it can stay there versus rolling back. The pros and cons of doing work at the pad. It's the pros and cons of doing work at the pad. A little early to say what the right path forward is. Mike Seraphin also notes that the overpressurization involved a manual sequencing of initiating hydrogen flow, fellas. But that it was a little early to tell what exactly happened. Space is the place. Yep. Nelson is not feeling any pressure from the White House or anything to launch. If I did, I would try to stop it. Yep, okay. That's it for the briefing. All right. Rollback is still to be determined, guys. All right. This is EJ's opinion based off of information presented for the most part. Don't know if this is real enough. They're going to roll back. But here's the thing. So, it's not that simple. I think they will roll back. However, rolling back and fixing that thing fixing that catch can inside of the VAB makes the late September window. I mean, guys, it's only 2 weeks away. It makes that late September window a little hairy. You might not get it in time. Because think about it. You got to roll it back to the VAB. You got to start taking things apart. You got to start putting things back together. And you got to make sure that all the systems work. This thing has to be out on the pad at least a week. At least a week before you go to launch it. It has to be out there. Let's say 5 days. You gotta hook up all the connections. You gotta make sure all the connections to the pad, all the commodity flow, everything is working correctly, right? You gotta make sure that all works, and then you can go to launch, right? So that gives you a week to roll back and fix the problem. They might not do it. I would say if NASA decides that they're going to go for the October window, then they'll roll back. The September one is not sure. They do, yeah, John Krause did take this picture. I've seen this picture already. They have a gantry up. They have a gantry up on the bottom of the vehicle where the quick service or the quick disconnect is, and the catch can that is leaking. The seal needs to be replaced. And I want to point out another thing here. I'll keep the picture up from John Krause. I want to point out another thing that they are, it's not necessarily an overpressurization. Time to drown it in Flex Seal. I wish it was that easy, but yeah, I get it. So, the overpressurization event might be a problem. It might be. But what NASA is doing is trying to isolate individual variables here. What do you do in algebra when you have a variable and you want to solve for said variable? You isolate it. That potential inadvertent rectified valve in like 3 seconds is a variable. They need to isolate it and prove that that wasn't the point. That wasn't what caused the seal to screw up. Now, personally, if I had to guess, I think someone over-torqued that plate. I think they over-torqued it because they were like, oh, we'll just change the torque spec on the bolts and we'll torque it up nice. And I think they pinched the seal, if you really want to know. Could be wrong. It could just be, I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but that sounds right. That is very consistent with the behavior that they had. Because remember, between the wet dress rehearsal and the first launch attempt, that was one of the fixes. One of the fixes was to go and retorque the bolts on that plate. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think Charlie Blackwell Thompson said that they did adjust the torque spec on top of retorquing the plate, but I could be pulling that out of my tail. I don't know. So it could just be that they over-torqued it. They over-torqued the thing and they pinched the gasket. That happens. Dude, that happens all the time with cars. And I get it. It's not a car. It's a rocket. Could be as simple as it's old already. More vehicles and more launches are needed. Happens in the trucking world. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think it's important with this thing to take your time. Take your time. Do it right. And go from there. And also frick the haters. Just on a side note, frick the haters. Take your time, but not too much time. You know, if it takes another month, Paul, it takes another month, dude. Another month is a very small page in the entire book of the SLS program's chronology, I suppose. Scrubs never get remembered. People are never like, if SLS goes in the middle of September and it launches, and then we move on to Artemis 2, no one's gonna remember that this thing scrubbed a lot. And in the annals of history, it really doesn't make a big deal. The space shuttle scrubbed on the first try. You know, it does happen. It happens. It's a new vehicle. You got to learn it. And I know what everybody's saying. Oh, it's using space shuttle parts. That's great. You're using space shuttle parts in a different configuration on an entirely different launch vehicle. That's fine. If you want to reuse space shuttle parts, you got to prove that they work. It's not just about reusing parts. You're still it's still a completely different vehicle. This stuff takes time. Hey, Spearcraft, 63-month resub. And it was the hydrogen line. Hydrogen is worse than sand. It's clear, odorless, and it gets everywhere. I've been following SLS for 20 years. I can wait a few months. Yeah, Motorkid, if you mean back when it was Ares 5, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. That joke is funnier every time you say it. I hate hydrogen. It's small, cold. It gets everywhere. Yep. I like hydrogen. I need it to live. Right. Everywhere except the fuel tank. Oh! Nice, Thomas. Sand doesn't explode. Hydrogen does. That's right. That's right. How about Parallax 2.0 for space news? Yeah, I've been linked it so many times, and maybe I'll think about it if we have some spare time. Oh boy. Maybe. Anyway, so yeah, that seal is really what's giving him trouble. The hydrogen leak on Columbia 97 caused several scrubs and then rolled back for Atlantis ISS mission priority. That's right, John. Yep. That's right. Yeah, dude, this stuff happens. I mean, this is just hydrogen. Like, it's just how it is. You want to pay for that performance, you're gonna pay for that performance. It's that simple. Hurley, what's going on? Like, there's really nothing else to say until NASA really kind of analyze what's the best. NASA kind of has to sit there and think about what the best course of action forward is, and we won't know that until a little bit. But we do know that today was the last day that they were going to attempt to launch, and they're definitely not doing it today. So. But I will say, Parallax does look insane. I thought, dude, I'll be honest, the first time somebody linked it to me, I thought it was a Kerbal 2 trailer. Yeah. I thought it was a KSP 2 trailer. What's your take on the hydrogen versus methane debate? That's exactly what I was going to say, Pigzig. It's application. In the case of SLS, JD, in the case of SLS, yeah, hydrogen is great. An expendable launch vehicle using hydrogen, it's going to be the most efficient. It's going to be more efficient even than a reusable one using hydrogen. But I would say in terms of reuse, rapid reuse and reusability, like a la SpaceX, methane would probably be the better application. So it really comes down to what you're trying to do. The overpressure event was a manual operation, and apparently a command was sent to the wrong valve. Oops. Oops.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Methane's a better choice. It's because you got that carbon. It's all the benefits of hydrogen minus a little bit of efficiency. Just a little bit. And it's energetic enough. It's got carbon and hydrogen in it. So, and minimal carbon emissions for the people that care about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, for rapid reuse, methane's probably a little bit better. Hydrogen, though, if you're going for something like an Apollo-style expendable vehicle, so something like SLS or the Saturn V, oh yeah, hydrogen's the way to go. Or Atlas V or Delta. All good candidates for why hydrogen's a really good idea. Yeah. Hydrogen is the min-max option. Yep. So like Apollo used hydrogen in the second and third stages because they had to. They couldn't use anything else. We'll compare it to like the Soviet N-1 rocket. The N-1 rocket had Karolox in basically all the stages except the upper stages, and it only really had enough throw to the moon to be able to move 2 guys in a Soyuz capsule with the lander. And they had to EVA that one guy had to EVA into the lander. There was no airlock between the N1 and the Soyuz and the LOK lander. Yeah, they had no airlock. Not enough mass. Hydrogen just barely gave them enough to do what they did with the Apollo program. So in that particular application, hydrogen was the way to go. The nominal pressure was 20 psi, and they saw 60 psi. It didn't exceed the limits of what it was designed to handle. No, but yeah, I mean, stuff is always over-engineered by a couple of factors. I don't think necessarily the overpressure event would affect it, especially something for that that quickly, just for a couple of seconds. I don't think that's going to do much. What I do think is that changing the torque spec on that catch can umbilical plate is going to pinch the seal. I think that's a much more likely scenario than an overpressure unseating the seal or pinching the seal in some way, shape, or form. Okay, that's what's going on. Hi, fixing the seal and testing on the pad versus rolling back. How different are those testing environments comparing to each other? Wouldn't you aim to test as close as possible to launch pad conditions? You're confusing testing and fixing the problem. If they fix the problem on the pad, they'll test it on the pad. But if it's too complicated to fix on the pad and you need a service gantry, they'll move it back to the VAB. Understand that moving the vehicle, SLS, guys, it's really not designed to be rolled back to the VAB that many times. It really isn't designed to do that. Every time they move that thing around on the crawler, it's fatiguing the metal. Don't get me wrong, they still have plenty of rollbacks left with this SLS. They thought of this on purpose, just in case this exact scenario happened. Trust me, scrubs are always on NASA's mind. They always plan for the contingencies. But yeah, they're wondering. It's really whether they're gonna remember, guys. The whole thing with Artemis 1 is getting good baseline data. They want as ideal conditions as possible. And rolling the vehicle back and forth so many times is not giving you a good baseline, right? You'd ideally, in an ideal world, roll it to the pad once and then launch the thing in the most ideal conditions and nothing goes wrong. But once again, it's a fine line. Sometimes that doesn't always happen. Straight up. Sometimes that doesn't always happen. You know what I mean? The noise cancellation is silent. It's weird with no AC noise. It's like you disappear in your ear. Oh. I mean, I can just shut it off. I can just shut it off and you can go back to having it if you want. This is the acoustics with the tiles in. Really makes a difference, doesn't it? Gibby, tier 1 3 months in advance, 12 months total. Thank you, buddy. This feels normal. I like it. Is it raining? It's not raining at all. No. Actually, hang on. Let me go and listen. Give me 1 second. Nope, not raining right now. Not raining right now. We need an optional AC noise track for immersion purposes. Oh my goodness. Put it back. I liked it how it was. Oh no, I've started a chat civil war. I started a chat civil war. Oh no. Please, no AC sound. Oh God. Oh, why did I do this? How are you doing? I'm good, Kippy. Hey, thanks for that 3-month resub. I do appreciate it. Wow, there's a really hung jury on this. MV Bob and a shortfall of Gravitas left port early today to head to the Starlink 4-2 recovery site. This is the first time since Crew 3 in November of last year that Bob has towed a shortfall of Gravitas out. Cool. Noise floor is a little high on the compressor, on the suppressor. Your low noise stuff isn't captured at all. Run a poll? No. Polls are stupid. It'll always go to hung jury Aqualex. Like, every time. It's not worth it. I'm going to be that guy and say the AC sound doesn't make or break the stream. Sweet. Without a shortfall, the Gravitas can transport itself without needing to be towed. It can, bro, Handy, but it can't. Autopilot ships in a port is still not a thing. No, 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 no. It has to be assisted by the ship in and out of the port. That's the thing. Yeah. Yep. The reason for the shift in the normal ASDS fairing ship rotation is due to Bob's quick trip to New York, which led to Doug towing Just Read the Instruction out. Cool. Cool, cool. Yeah, you have to manually pilot something into a port. You can't have an autopilot ship in a port. We've been conditioned with AC noise for years. What did they say about the new date for launching? It depends on what they need to do, Joe. Okay, I said I'd say this during Space News, and I gave a pretty good explanation a second ago. The condensed version is it really depends on whether they can fix that. If they can fix the leakage problem or the rate of leak problem, if they can fix the seal on the pad, September is definitely on the table. If they can't do that, they're going to have to roll back, and then we're looking at October. Yeah, September 21st is the next time the moon comes in the right spot. And then after that, it's the end of the second, beginning of the third week in October. Worst case, I suppose that they have to take the whole plate off and rebuild and replace. It's just the catch can, Hellfish. It's not the quick disconnect. Quick disconnect is working just fine. I know, Ryan's, yeah. Maybe I should put the sunglasses on to kind of lessen the blow. What was the name of the first fan you had? Fred? Greg? I forget. The box fan? I think the box fan's name was Jeff. So this was spread recently everywhere. This is from the Starlink 420 mission. Ooh. Should we be... Whoa. So how hard is it to switch from hydrogen to methane other than not having it at the moment? Shadowman, switch the entirety of SLS to methane. Look up videos of people putting diesel fuel in a gasoline engine. And that's a car. Cars are like several orders of magnitude simpler than a rocket. Don't change the propellant. Yeah, no. Remember, test flight. The further into a program you change the stakeholder goals, right? The more expensive it's going to be. If NASA decided to switch to methane for SLS right now, well, first of all, it would completely redesign the vehicle to the point where you might as well just clean sheet a vehicle and then kiss another 10 years goodbye and another $30 billion. Yep. Easily. I thought they were going to roll back, not because of the leak, because they had to replace the batteries, which can't be swapped on the pad. Most likely October for the next attempt. Yeah, that's another component that we haven't really gotten into, SuperVod, but if they can figure... But see, you don't know that. You know, they said... That's not what they said in the press interview, from what I understand. They said that if they can find a way to recertify those batteries out on the pad, then they'll go for September. But it is pointing more likely towards October. I will say right, but... You know, it doesn't matter if they get those batteries fixed. Like, yeah, the flight termination system batteries have to be recertified per range protocol. So that's fine. Yeah, great. Your range battery's good. If you can't fill up the vehicle, you ain't going anywhere. You can't fill up the vehicle with fuel, you ain't going nowhere. So I don't even yeah, there is also that, but honestly, fixing that seal is priority one. I would put that at priority one. How long will the range let it sit? Guys, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. If I had the telemetry from the vehicle in front of me, I guarantee you we'd be going and looking through it to figure out what was going on. I don't know. NASA hasn't figured that out yet, man. That's really the truth. That video is pretty sweet, and you know what? I want to watch it, but I don't know if that's... Not entirely sure that's been greenlit. Yeah, I know, Aqualex, right? The leak can be fixed in the pad. I read the batteries can't, is all I'm suggesting. I get it. I understand. Yeah. Hey, watching this guy, what's going on? Yeah, Superbot, I know. I get what you're suggesting. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you can't fill up the thing with fuel, the flight termination system doesn't matter. So that's what they're looking at. I'm telling you guys priority one. You are right, but what I'm trying to say to you is that the seal is way more important. You fill it up with fuel, flight termination system doesn't matter. Who cares? It's just a really nice big grain silo if we can't fill it up with fuel. It's all over the net. Would you be closing any doors by playing it? I don't know Aqualex, and that's why I'm like, yep, not going to take the chance there. Because, yes, you could potentially do that. Yeah, I don't like doing stuff like that. I have very, very strict OPSEC on the stream because we are dealing with defense technology. And I get it. That's going to piss some people off. I don't care. I don't need to blacklist myself in an industry that I constantly cover and talk about. So, yeah, it's not about you, okay? It's not about you. It's about me. Stop being selfish. Yeah, not you. No, you're good. I'm talking about you. No, you're cool, and you're cool. No, you. I know. But no, shh. Stop making this about you. This is my stream. Go away. The black suits are coming for you. JG, I basically make sure that they don't do that. Yeah. Introducing yourself helps. Heifer with cheese. You son of a gun, I'm right behind you. Turn around and ask me for heifer with cheese, yo. Why you gotta make me feel inferior because I'm on the grill, B? Damn. Sorry. Great pics of the latest on the old. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, Chatty Murphy. It was an accident. I was having too much fun. I'll offer you a truce. The dankest of the Starship pictures. You want a tank watch with your old boy, EJ? This is from Starship Gazer, and that's nice. The room's stickiest of the icky. It's a celebration chat. Darkness. Darkness is. Look, see that? See that? Look, the darkness right there. Darkness. What's happening with Starship? They're just doing a lot of testing, Kim. A lot of testing. Static fires. Yeah. Ever since Booster 7 had that hiccup, they've been a little bit more robust with their testing. Booster 7 basically did a spin start test and shot atomized fuel out the bottom, and that atomized fuel found a source of ignition somewhere and made a nice, pretty much the most legendary carburetor backfire you've ever seen. I know you've been into other stuff lately, so yeah, that happened like a month ago, and ever since then they've been kind of like, yeah, we haven't seen much action down there right now, but they're building to something. It's pretty easy to spot. That makes total sense. Wouldn't want to teach it too well. And yeah, exactly, Aqualex. Yeah, I'm very careful with OPSEC. I get told, dude, privileged information all the time, just through the grapevine, through people that I know. I never, ever, ever talk about stuff if I can't verify the source. Ever. I have a rule about that. And I think it would be very hypocritical of me if I did that, like, all the time. You know? Like, oh, so after that, nothing changed. They had to take Booster 7 back and verify that it was good. They've been doing static fires, Chem, to test, like, the plumbing on Starship and on, the booster. Do you think they can even static test fire all 33 boosters at the same, or 33 Raptor engines on the booster at the same time? No. Laz, the SRBs on the space shuttle were enough to be, that's enough for us to rip the shuttle off the pad regardless of the hold down points. I know that because during the shuttle program, they had a frangible nut that didn't go off, and it literally separated the rocket from the pad. If you're not going to separate, the SRB will separate it for you. And if you think about it, that's with a fully fueled space shuttle, an external tank, and it still has enough thrust to rip it off the pad. So, like, we're talking a 1.3, 1.4 TWR. Super Heavy is designed to have a Starship with 100 tons of payload inside of it and 250 tons worth of fuel and mass, right? So, like, it's designed to have a 350-ton weight on top of it and achieve the same type of TWR off the pad. Static firing that thing without Starship or anything attached to it, if you static fired all the engines, it would rip itself completely off the pad, like clean off the pad. Like, no, there's no question. It's not even a judgment call. My source says I made it the frick up. Yeah, watching this guy. They would have had a discussion with you by now. Yeah. Watching, the thing is that, you know, I'm not, like, looking up at the sky and stuff. I talk about, like, propulsion systems and injector plates and stuff like that, which is part of propulsion systems. That stuff that's kind of frowned upon if you go telling people, like, how they're designed. It's kind of frowned upon, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I try to be very careful with that stuff. Or take the pad with it. I mean, maybe. My guess is that it would rip itself off the hold down points. That's the weakest link. That's on purpose. Would they be able to use a huge cap and restraints like they do with Falcon 9? Yeah, sure. But at that point, why don't you put a Starship up there? You have a pad that's designed for quick integration. It would literally be faster. Just roll Starship over there and put it on top of it, fuel it up, and then fire it. Then see what happens. Any KSP return date? I don't know. Yes, it's gonna happen sooner rather than later, Sun Temple. But just, yeah, bear with me, okay? I'll be 100%, like, I have no plans on when exactly I'm going to start playing Kerbal again. I know that I want to. I will. Between getting the office done and just all the rocket launches and just, I have to still get the shop cleaned up. The shop is basically, it's basically just a storage area for building materials and junk right now. It got cluttered up so fast. I gotta get everything here 100% before I can truly give Kerbal the effort that it deserves. So, yeah, Sun Temple, it's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit. But I will get back into it. You have my word on that. Clutter finds a way. Yeah, I just moved in, Mullet. Damn, freaking moved in. It's full of junk. It's just crap everywhere. Bits and pieces of drywall, 2x4, you know, insulation. Like, dude, after this office is good to go, and all I got to do is just finish a little bit of the drywall, and then we got to get the door frame done, and then we're good. Once I do that, then I can work on getting the shop, not a storage barn. I want to build a shop. Like, when I say shop, I mean a shop. Like, tools, toolboxes, all the equipment that I need set up correctly to be able to do all the wrenching that I want to do on the cars. Stuff like that. You bought X-Plane 12. Sweet. They're making plenty of starships anyway. It's not like they were worried about losing on one of them. I mean, ideally, no, Uncle X, but yeah, when you have a bunch, it turns out when you employ something in scale, you can be a little more laissez-faire about risk aversion. Hey, Milo, what's going on? So, yeah, no problem, Sun Temple. Just have Brimo take care of it. You want Brimo to set up the shop? Oh, she said no. Sorry, Apatoxin. She said no. I can't do it. No puedo. Oh, crap, she's here. Run, 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 run. Run! Run away! Run away! Girl's got cooties! Gone?
I was a witness to a crime that I saw. And yeah, my face is blurred for my own protection. I saw the most heinous things happen. Some guy went into the press conference and started asking questions. And those questions made everybody stupider in the room. Once again, my face has been blurred for my own protection. Everyone in the room got stupider that day. Yeah. All right, cool.
Elsie Melcher, the nosy person that lives down the street. Identity leaked. The person down the street who has not to be identified goes by the name Elsie Melcher. All he did was pack his bags, lock his doors, and left with a plane ticket to Calcutta. He vanished without a trace. We're going to need you to set up the shop like Rocket Lab's factory. That's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, I would love... Payload clean room or rocket integration facility is the level of cleanliness that I will go with my shop. Man, Nathan's really doing work. And so is Dave. Brad, though. Who's this guy? Why does he have so much... Why is he so... What are you doing, guy? You have sticks red. Are you playing... This ain't Connect 4. This ain't Scooby-Doo. That guy's a slacker. Name's probably McFly. Maybe the red is good. Oh, in that case, Nathan and Dave are just lazy. Feel better about using Makita now. Those are shits for tools that are out. Ah, very nice. More red is more tools. And I have a question. What is this guy doing? What does that say? Yogurt? That says yogurt. What is that guy doing? That guy's doing all the work. It says yogurt. Yogurt the wise. Yogurt the magnificent. Yogurt. I hate yogurt. Even with strawberries. Oh, there's your Spaceballs references for the day. But yeah, that's what I mean. I gotta get that all set up. Let's see. What else do we got? Yogurt versus pudding. Yeah, that's right. We can't have yogurt here. You don't use yogurt to make pie, but you use pudding to make pies. And I'll tell you, we are a pie space agency around here. Cake is good, but you only have cake on your birthday. And you can have pie anytime. Higher resolution of the names. Oh, that's Yolanda. Okay. Why is she using all those tools? I'm sure she's doing work. Dude, that voice is almost dead on, Bill Nelson. Thank you very much. She's doing work. She is doing work. Who named their kid Tractor? Does that actually say Tractor, or? Maybe Tractor's his last name. Maybe his first name is Pull. Pull Tractor. Maybe his name's Paul. You cannot ban the broadcaster. Okay. You guys want to know what in OBS, you guys want to know what I named the suppressor filter layer? Anybody want to know? It's called Suppress D's. All right. Parallax, huh? You guys wanted to see that? Give me 1 second. I gotta find the dang link. Not parakeet, SpongeBob. Parachute. Thomas, do we have the link? I forget where it is. You know what the crazy thing is? I've been linked it like 20 times today. Could use some low-level deliberate back. I think I got it. I got it. All right, so check this out. This is a mod called Parallax 2.0. It came out for Kerbal. This is for Kerbal 1, guys. This is Kerbal 1. That's tempting. Damn it. So, Moon. Kerbin. Wow. That's just damn impressive. That's just impressive, dude. Great scatter. It has funny captions. Turn them on. Okay.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
There's boreal effect on Kerbin. Wow. I mean, I'm not sure how well trees at the end of the runway is going to work. It also uses GPU instances, so it runs great. No lag at all. Nice. No more excuses? I never made excuses, Tessa. It's not an excuse if you don't want to. That seems to be underwater right there. How much is it to get this? How much is it? Cost? This is a mod for KSP1, dudes. Look at the scatterer. Is that Lathe? The freaking bubbles? Or is it Eve? Crazy. This is a mod. Guys, this isn't KSP2. This is Parallax. It's a mod for KSP1. Ugh. Do you use mods? No, not really. Wow, that's Drez. Unbelievable. Nope, actually that wasn't Drez. That was Tylo. You still considering KRPC? Kerbal has not been on my mind, Illness, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's one way to submit an application to work on KSP2. Yep. Yeah, those links. All the rocket bumps, so it's a physical or physics enabled, so it's a physical scatterer. So your rover wheels have to account for it. I don't even know what stock Eve looks like. Yeah, yes, except for the fact where I went to Eve in Kerbal and you weren't here in career mode. It's all good. Change the good in the racing has been fun. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's actually really cool. That's an awesome mod. And yeah, Kerbal, it's like I was saying before, fellas. Kerbal's coming back. I just got to get everything else figured out. I got to get all this stuff figured out. But we're having some fun with F1 Manager right now, so I wouldn't even worry about it too much. Games Links is the Giga Chat. Yep. I mean, it looks great, Rap Shark. It looks amazing. Like I'm just damn impressed, to be honest with you. Are you considering using that mod? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? KSB is lost in the clock to restore the neighbor's car. It's not restoring the car, Snickers. It's getting the shop all cleaned up. Guys, look, I know it seems like it's like, what does the shop have to do with playing Kerbal again? The honest truth answer is nothing. No, nothing. But I know for a fact that if I leave the shop as basically a storage area for junk while I'm working on finishing the office and stuff, it's just gonna stay like that. It'll stay like that, and I'll never work on cars in it. It's just full of stuff right now. I gotta fix it. But see, the good thing about this is that I've said that in the past. Like, the garage is full of junk right now, right? And I really can't get to anything. But see, all we have to do is clean it once. All I have to do is clean it once. And then I don't have to worry about somebody else messing it up again, like what we had with the past auto streams. Don't need to worry about that. Can we get an Artemis 1 launch in KSP in time for the actual launch? Maybe. Do you know this because of kitchen cabinets? What? Maybe. Well, jeez, man, go do some cleaning. I can't. I'm here freaking entertaining you. That's it. All right, Novus. All right, fine. Here. Hold on. Can we get an Artemis 1 launch in KSP in time for the actual launch? Well, Novus, we basically have to sit and, we have to look at the data. We have to look at all the data and make sure that the best course of action for launching SLS and KSP is, you know, gets us there quickly, expediently, with minimal risk. Yeah, there you go. Did you understand that? Did you understand that one? Did you understand it? You should have. Well, you got 2 weeks. Get it done, son. Oh, okay. Hey, you don't have a question about buckets, do you? By any chance? Hey, guys, can I fill gas in my bucket? Mr. Madison, what you just said was one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent question were you even close to anything that could be considered rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but... Oh my God. Dude, that's never not gonna be funny. That's never not going to be funny, man. That's never not gonna be funny. I'm not letting that one go, Novus. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go, dude. I'm not letting it go. It's too freaking funny. Come on, man. What are you doing? So freaking good. Oh, man. Is that your jump to conclusions, Matt, on the bottom of your bucket? The mat with different conclusions that you can jump to. Okay. Anyway. Moving on. Let's go see what's going on down in Boca Chica, shall we? Speaking of that. I still want my blanket statements blanket. Oh. Okay. How about the sweeping generalizations broom? Hillis, those are good ideas. We should do that. We should do that. I gotta start looking at vendors. I'm serious. We should get that done. That would be awesome. Huh. Guys, you want to see something interesting? NASA Space Flight hasn't been giving us the daily Boca updates. There's the multi-engine static fire. I think it's probably because they're all down the Cape, if I had to guess. This is Raptor firing frenzy.
Raptor testing is ramping up for Booster 7 and Ship 24 at SpaceX Boca Chica. While we've seen a lot of rapid progress, what else is left before the fabled orbital flight test?
What's Zach up to, Phil?
The past few weeks have seen an onslaught of Raptor engine firings down in South Texas. The star of the show has undoubtedly been Booster 7, so we'll start there. Booster 7, which is currently slated to fly on the first orbital mission of Starship, had a rocky start to the summer. On July 11th, SpaceX attempted to perform a spin prime test of all 33 Raptor engines on the vehicle. For those who are unaware, a spin prime is when the turbopumps on the engines are spun up, but no ignition occurs. During this first of its kind test, a cloud of methane vapor underneath the booster ignited right when the test began, producing a large explosion. It's still not entirely clear how much was damaged from this anomaly,
Congrats,
but SpaceX
Thomas.
did remove Booster 7 from the pad a few days afterward to roll it back to the production site.
Carburetor backfire.
There,
Same idea.
several engines were removed, and inspections and repairs took place. The vehicle was rolled back to the pad on August 5th, sporting only the outer ring of 20 engines. This may have been due to the inner 13 engines being damaged in the explosion.
Yeah,
now on the
Bill.
pad,
Yeah, I know
the
what you mean.
booster performed a few single-engine spin prime tests, followed by 2 single-engine static fire tests. These were the first ever Raptor firings on the orbital pad, and the second test even lasted a whopping 20 seconds.
Yep, they were
For
testing.
reference, most static fires last only between 2 to 4 seconds.
They were testing autogenous pressurization.
Booster 7 was then rolled back to the production site where it gained its inner 13 engines and returned to the pad once more. Following a series of 3 engine spin prime tests, the booster attempted to perform a 3-engine static fire on August 31st. Interestingly, all 3 engines were spun up, but only 2 actually ignited. It seems like an engine on the outer ring aborted before igniting, but nevertheless, 2 Raptors fired for a few seconds on Booster 7.
Yep.
Strangely, an engine from the middle ring that didn't undergo any testing on the booster was removed and replaced following this test. It's unclear why this occurred. Now, what's left for Booster 7? Well, it seems pretty likely that a repeat of the 3-engine static fire would take place to make sure all 3 Raptors work. Or, who knows, maybe SpaceX is happy with what data they've got now and decide to move forward with higher engine counts. It's likely that larger and larger numbers of engines will have spin prime and static fire tests, with perhaps some pre-burner tests as well. This is a brand new type of test campaign, so we're actually learning alongside you. It will be very exciting no matter what route they decide to take. But regardless, the final goal is almost certainly a 33-engine static fire. This should be one of the last major tests before launch, and may occur with or without a ship on top. And given how loud 2 engines were, I can't wait to see what 33 engines firing sounds and looks like. But, of course, there's one other vital component of the orbital flight test vehicle,
Okay.
Ship 24. And we'll get right into that after a quick word from my friend Jack. Take it away.
Save 80.
Thanks, Jack. Ship 24 has remained perched on suborbital pad B since it rolled out at the beginning of July. Since then, it has performed a smorgasbord of testing, including several spin primes, igniter testing, flap testing,
Thanks,
and
Jack.
even a dual-engine static fire on August 9th.
Jack's probably like,
The next
"Jake,
objective
come
may be
on,
a
man."
3 or 6-engine static fire, depending on what SpaceX deems necessary. But that may be on hold for now, as SpaceX just removed a Raptor vacuum engine from Ship 24 on September 2nd. Like Booster 7's engine swaps, it's not clear why this engine was changed out, but hopefully
That
it
is
won't
all.
lead to a long delay. If all goes well with booster and ship testing, we may see a full stack in the near future ahead of final launch preps.
Hello.
A wet dress rehearsal and or some static fire.
Can I just...
Hello, baby.
Alright, anyway.
Fires with the full stack would not be surprising to see. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a good amount of booster testing left, and the engine shrouds on the booster still need to be installed. This should all take place over the next few months if everything continues to go well. But even if things don't go well, SpaceX is knee-deep in building the next vehicles in the series. Booster 8, for example, has completed all major stacking inside the Mega Bay.
See that? See that booster right there? That's bait. That's bait.
Though it's still waiting on its grid fins. Ship 25, meanwhile, remains nearly stacked inside the high bay. Its tanks and nose cone just need to be mated. Both vehicles seem more or less identical to their predecessors and are being readied for the second orbital flight, or, if needed, to be called in as replacements. Booster 9 is coming along as well, as its methane tank has mostly completed stacking in the Mega Bay. Parts for Booster 10, along with Ship 26 and 27, have been seen around the site as well. Finally, Some other interesting activities have occurred around the site over the past few weeks.
It's Booster
Some
8
raptors
bait.
were spotted flying around the complex on August 25th.
Yeah!
US Air Force F-22 Raptors flew several laps around the facility prior to an air show, performing some tricks along the way. Mary and the robots caught some amazing videos and photos, so be sure to check that out after this. And as if that wasn't enough, the very next day, the crew of the Polaris Dawn mission flew past the complex in Mission Commander Jared Isaacman's fighter jets.
That's so
Polaris Dawn,
cool.
the first of 3 missions in the Polaris program, will launch on a Crew Dragon later this year to perform SpaceX's first spacewalk. The third Polaris mission, however, will involve a different spacecraft. Now, while its launch date is well into the future and entirely unclear, Polaris 3 will see the first crew launch on board SpaceX's next rocket, Starship. And that's all for this update. Be sure to also check out our frequent McGregor update videos to see some great shots of the ongoing Raptor and Merlin engine testing occurring every single day. Thanks for watching, and have a great week.
No, it didn't explode. Alright, that's cool. Thanks, Ian! T-38s are not fighter jets, though. Those weren't T-38s, dude. Those are fighter jets, though. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, what a beautiful plane. Those aren't T-38s. Those are L-39s. Those are 2 L-39s, and then, that's the jet. That's the jet. Yeah, it's very, 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 it's very nice. It's a very nice jet. It's a No, seriously, have you guys seen that video? That's one of my favorite NSF videos. It's like, okay, stuff's going on at Boca Chica, but also... Hide those, look. How many times have you watched Maverick? It's above 20. Mostly clips of it, believe it or not. Don't have much time to watch the whole movie. Hide those. Oh! Yeah! That looks like fun, man. Dude, look at how close that thing is to the ground. Yeah, Darius. So before we get into it, also that turn, yeah, that would destroy any other aircraft. If any other aircraft tried to do that, they'd take the turn and then they'd find this satellite or the radio antenna real quick. They'd take a turn and then go into the ground. So Jared Isaacman, Darius, owns a company that provides OPFOR services to train air forces, to be honest with you. That's what he does. So he has a MiG, excuse me, a MiG-29. He's got a bunch of L-39s, and those are that was an Alpha Jet, I think is what it's called. I just recollected the name. And people said it in chat, but that sounds right. And what these guys do is they provide opposing force. They're all ex-Air Force and Navy pilots that he employs, and they are a opposing force. It's OPFOR. So if you think about Top Gun, the first Top Gun, so Jester, like the opposing force, they are enemy air forces that you train against. That is literally what he does. That is his company. He owns a bunch of fighter jets and provides OPFOR services to train air forces in the southwest part of the United States, not just the U.S. Air Force. Isn't that crazy? Used to. Apparently he sold it. He sold what? The MiG? Yeehaw! Jester's dead! Yeah, there you go. I did OPFOR stuff in the Air Force. It was a giant pain in the butt. Yeah, he sold the Draken. Yeah. The company. Yeah. Oh, used to. He sold that company that does OPFOR stuff. Oh, okay. Cool. Well, that's what he did then. But I guess he kept some of the fighter planes. Andrew, you went to the Udvar Hazy Center. It was amazing. Got to see the space shuttle. That is one of the best museums in North America, if not the. I think the only other museums that are like in that tier are Pima, Museum of Flight, Museum of the Air Force, and that's about it. Those are those four that I mentioned right there are the four best airplane museums on this continent. And yeah, I think the Smithsonian's in number 1. Yeah, the Udvar Hazy Center is number 1. Yeah, that's number 1. Easily. And then the Air Force is number 2. And then Pima is number 3. And then Museum of Flight is number 4. I'm not sure what's in the 5th slot. Intrepid is probably, yeah, Intrepid's probably the 5th slot. That's that museum. Intrepid's great. It's freaking amazing. The F-117 and the YF-23 are at the USAF Museum. Yeah, I know, Pythos. And then my baby. My whoa. There's a lot of things in this picture that I really like. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this. There's a lot of things in this picture that I enjoy. This is the Wicked Fast Planes Department. Yep, that's right. So what is it? This is his fleet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 L-39s, a MiG-29, 2 Alpha Jet, a Cessna 750, and a BD-700. Cool. Yeah. See, this plane goes fast, and that plane also goes fast. And see, that one, that's a mock-up of the thing that goes the fastest. There's a lot of stuff in this picture that I just... Yeah. Go to the Museum of the Air Force if you're in Ohio. Yeah, you're welcome. Dude, the X-29. The X-29 is right there. The X-29. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. The Stiletto. Look at that. Look at that flying piece of junk. That thing's there. The X-1B. SR-71. Or A-12. But it's... Yeah, the X-24A and B are still there. Yeah, all the lifting bodies are there, man. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff going on in this hangar. The Air Force shouldn't have a shuttle that they pull. It's a trainer. It's just a trainer S. Is this Udvar or Dayton? That's Dayton. That's Ohio. Oh, just please excuse me. How much thrust do you want? What I found in my pictures folder. Is this familiar? I can't click on it. Storm Tracer Real Life just streamed a walkthrough through the National Air Force Museum. Dude, I don't even know if a stream, like a live stream from me, from that would be, like, even good. It would just be me going... Like, have you guys ever seen Wacky Deli? You guys remember that episode of Rocko's Modern Life? Wacky Deli? It would literally just be that the entire time. It's like, okay, EJ has gone bye-bye. Bono? You want them to get Bono? Anyway, here, watch this. saw it, T-Man. Yeah, I was watching that Starlink launch, guys, but I was at a Labor Day cookout, and I wasn't far from home, but I couldn't drive home. So I couldn't get home in time for the time. I did watch it live, though. From what I remember, it was pretty good. Labor Day marks the end of summer here, guys. Yeah, it's just going to get cold from now on, and it's just going to get miserable. Yeah, I hate fall. I can't stand it. I hate fall because that means summer's over. And I really hate winter because that means you're the furthest from summer. I like spring, though, because that means summer is coming. But I like summer the best, though, because it's summer. Yeah, Acid's a beast. Yeah, she's a monster. You forget where your house is? Yeah, no. Supposedly down here on the Cape, it doesn't snow because you're close to the ocean. Supposedly. But winter means rocket build season for myself, okay? Okay. Yeah, I definitely live here. I don't think people in Florida understand how nice they have it. Nah, autumn is the best. Right temperatures and not too rainy. You're from the UK. Your opinion on seasons does not count. All right? That doesn't count. Winter makes you appreciate summer more. Yeah, you're right, G. As much as I hate admitting it, yeah. Winter also means hockey season. Okay. All right, you bring up some good points. Wait a minute. I have a shop. The only reason I really don't like winter is because it screws up your car. And I can't really work on cars in the winter because you can't work outside. I forgot. Dude, I forgot. I straight up forgot. I don't need to hate winter anymore. I can just work about this. We gotta get that. We gotta get that shop. We gotta get everything set up in the shop before winter starts. Before it gets too cold. Dude, I straight up forgot. I'm pondering that more than pondering like what we can do in the winter. You know, I straight up forgot that I have it. How are you heating it? With propane. There's an SR-71 local to me that has the engines out of it. Might like this. Okay. Watch out, there's a garage behind you. No, it's in front of me. Ooh. Yeah, that's a J58, man. Nightmare. J58. One of the best airplane engines ever devised. Ever. If not the. Why don't you just stream cleaning up the place? When I clean up the place in stream, Air Brandis, it doesn't get done fast. Yeah, Panther. Yeah, there's a Starlink train. Yeah, that's what they do. You got a Jeep to wrench on. Get it ready. I got my truck to wrench on first, boy. Lift. Yeah, Bandit, it was a great video. All right, dudes. There's not much going on. SLS has that valve seat and the FTS stuff needs to be changed, but the FTS batteries need to be changed. But yeah, other than that, Yeah, there's really not much else going around. What kind of heater though? Forced air furnace or blower? You know what, Cherokee? I don't know, but I know that a propane heater would probably be the best option. From what I can surmise, either that or a heat pump. I don't know if I'll be able to install one in time, you know? I still have it in my head that the camera is where it was when you were painting the walls that one stream. No. The garage is behind you guys. So here, you're going to see, yep, a little bit behind the scenes over here. There's the drop. There's one of the lights, and that's the door to the garage. So yeah, I'm just in an office in the back of the garage. You got natural gas. Hammer Nails, we do have a gas line, but the gas line goes into the house, and the garage is a fair bit away from the house, so that would get costly pretty quick. It's not in the budget right now, but in the future, I want gas and a water line out here. There is like open storage through this wall over here. There's open storage through that wall. And what I want to do eventually is put a door. There was a door there. We got rid of it. I want to put a door right there, like an insulated, well, not even an insulated door. I want a regular door there, and then the mower storage I'll move somewhere else. The ride-on mower, it's through that wall. I'm going to take that, and I want to put like a bathroom over there. Yeah, I want to put a bathroom over there, and, you know, like, then like a storage closet for like an air compressor and a bunch of other things. Like, dude, when I say shop, I mean shop. Like, I'm not like, oh, let's set up the toolbox and stuff. Because if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. I didn't buy this garage just to fill it full of junk. It's a detached garage. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Abatox, my property is really long. Very long. I'm back in the woods. The garage is good ways away from the house, dude. It's this rural thing. I'm still getting used to it, dudes. I walked out of the back door of my house the other day to go to here to do work. This was, I think it was Saturday afternoon or something. I walked out and I hear, and I look up and I go, the hell? There's 3 deer in my backyard just looking at me. I'm like, hey, hi. And we just kind of looked at each other for about 15 seconds. It's just weird. Just they were looking at me, and I'm just like, those are deer. Yeah, me too, Apatoxin. I saw turkeys moving around before. Oh, deer. And they were just like, we're leaving now. I get it. I'm like, I mean, as long as you let me get to the garage, I really don't care here. They're just like, no, we're leaving. See you later. What's going on here? What is this? Dude, I haven't seen a freaking deer in a backyard ever. Like, that's not a thing. That is not a thing for me. I know that deer exist. I get it. I see them dead on the side of the road all the time. But see 3 of them, they were just like, I walked out and they went, huh? Who are you? I'm like, I live here. And they're like, oh. All right. Okay, we're leaving now. I'm like they slow walked away. It was very strange. I'm like, wildlife or something. They will eat your garden plants. Yeah, I know, Wazda. Yeah. When I get to that point, the garden is on the list of things to do. He'll be back, and in greater numbers. Yeah. Oh, nice, T-Man. That's cool. Invite them for dinner? I don't... Not sure what you mean by that. No, they were deer. White-tailed deer. Aqualux. Venison, yeah. Venison is good, man, but I don't know the first thing about gutting a deer, I'll be honest with you. Will a 12 gauge be on the list? Maybe. Invite them for a beer. You want me to invite the deer for a beer. T-Man, there is a fundamental problem here. Deers do not speak English, okay? We'd have to teach it English first, then I could ask it for a beer. Or ask if it wants beer. See what I mean? Too much work. Or you could learn how to speak deer. Do drunks understand English either? Okay, so we got to get the deer drunk somehow. And then, this is a joke, by the way. Don't screw with wildlife unless you're hunting or something. How do you know they don't speak English? Dude, Rosenthacker, we clearly made eye contact. Like, all three of them looked at me, and I'm like, hi. What do I do? Do I say hi, or do... And then, like, then they just walked. They were like, all right, I'm gonna head out. It was weird, man. It was weird. It was weird. It was very strange. And I'm just sitting there, like, kind of frozen, like, what's happening? Oh, okay, Jim. Yep. Realistically, where you're at, those aren't wildlife. They're outdoor pets. Yeah, sure. I guess. Anyway, yeah, there's my wildlife story for the day. So, you know, this is your boy moved to the sticks, moved to a place that is not nearly as developed as the middle of the city where I was before. And yeah, I've seen, let's see, let's tally the list. I've seen frogs. I've seen turtle. I've seen turkeys. I've seen squirrels. I've seen chipmunks. There's rabbits that live somewhere in my backyard. I've seen, and deer. Now deer, I've heard coyotes. Definitely some coyotes live in the woods behind my house. Yeah, definitely. There's a good amount of woods behind us. Yeah. So that's what I've seen thus far. City man sees wild animals not in zoo or in YouTube. You know, Toronto, you say it as a joke, but man, I lived in the city, dude. It's all I've ever lived. This is the most rural place I've ever lived. This is an acre. I grew up on a quarter acre. This is like a lot of land for me, and then I get it. People from the country are like, an acre's a lot of land. What are you talking about? Like, I get it. This is crazy, man. This is ridiculous. That's like 25%. Yeah, I know, right? I haven't seen a possum, and I haven't seen skunks, believe it or not. I know there's skunks around here, though. I smelled one the other day. Have you seen Parallax yet? We looked at it, Zay. It's pretty cool. Artemis 4, hopefully. Been having too much fun with these mods. Oh. But yeah, there's not much space news. We'll jump into F1 Manager in a little bit, but also... I haven't seen a snake. No, spaceflight. No snakes. I have a ride-on mower, Apatoxin. I mowed the lawn yesterday. Yeah. I did it in the morning, and... I'm slowly becoming Hank Hill. I mowed the lawn and I emptied the grass bags in the lawnmower, right? And I just kind of sat there and went, nice. Hey, Savannah, what's going on? I was like, well, I do drugs when you could just mow the lawn, boy. I tell you what. Boy, there's nothing like mowing the nice lawn. We do it. We don't do it. We do it for America. Peg, I tell you what. I'm sure you were smelling some skunks yesterday. Why bag it? Mulch it. I put it in a bag, and I actually, so there are some dead patches of grass, Jim, and I put the compost down on the dead patches of grass. It's probably not going to do anything, but I got to seed it and water it again. But we've been getting a lot of rain, so the grass has been growing like crazy.
Discovery, go at
RJ, Gifted a tier 3 sub to Hammer Nails. Okay. Okay. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? Dude, yeah, no, I sat there and stared at my lawn. Like, I'm like, man, the house is a long way away. That's weird. All right. Rain, what's that? I live in California. Oh, dude, we've been getting destroyed with rain, Funky Flex. We've gotten, I don't know. To be honest, actually, we haven't gotten the most. In Central Mass got wrecked. 10, you got destroyed with rain. I got nothing. It's been drizzling here for the past 2 days. I just want a picture of a gosh dang hot dog. Must be you. He's mowing your lawn. Oh. Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, let's go back over to see what Zach's posting. We got a lot from CSI Starbase. I actually, yeah, I want to see if we can do some work with Zach here soon. But here, yeah, let's see what he's up to. 11 inches down here in Rhode Island and another 5 today. Dude, yeah. And then it goes up to the Cape and just dissipates, dude. I've gotten like, we got a lot of rain like 2 weeks ago. But now it's like maybe a ½ inch. You got to build up the boost. Let me know when you get a steering wheel knob for your rider so you can mow and drink a beer at the same time. It's inevitable. What's that, Jim? Providence got 8 inches. Cranston got 11 inches of rain. Nick has a shot of them moving 2 tanks towards Massey's. All right, cool. And so, okay, what Zach got a picture of here from RGB. So that's Massey's gun range right there. Oh. You're in Cranston, Hammer Nails, so, you using a scuba tank right now or something, or? Dude, I'm not that far, dude. I'm down by the bridges. I ain't far away from you now. Is the gun range gone? Yeah, Massey moved. SpaceX paid him a good amount of money, and he bought a bigger gun range, from what I understand. Yeah, this is down the street from Boca Chica. There's a gun range down here called Massey's, and SpaceX paid him a good amount of cash, and he's like, yep, I'm out, and he found a much bigger gun range. Yeah. You have a friend that works in Cranston. Every time the weather does this, I call it Floodston. I advise her that it may be a good idea to work from home. Hammer Nails, it overflowed your koi pond. Thank goodness no koi escaped. The pump overflow system saved you? Oh, no. That's nuts. All right, let's see. And the person worked with SpaceX to keep the site open while they look for a new spot. Seems like a pretty cool guy to me. Michael Christensen, a racing driver for Force, is auctioning off his Rolex Daytona watch. He won it in the 24 hour. The money goes to save the children. Cool. Neat. Yep. Tank mounts, for sure. Zach, looking at this RGB picture, those are methane tank mounts. Absolutely. Oh, Elon has a lifetime membership at the new gun range. Dude, if I ever go down to Boca, man, go over there. Go over there and let some lead fly for a little bit and then go watch rockets. Because the guy was apparently super cool about it. This is likely the start of a Raptor testing and maintenance facility. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, the gun range. Here, let's see if we can find it. They just moved the tanks there. Yep, so it looks like Zach was on the money, Balkex, as per usual. So this is down at Boca Chica. There's Brownsville right there. Okay. So there's there's the launch site right there. And then there's the build site right there. And it's down this way is a little ways. There it is. Yeah, that's the old gun range right there. Interesting. I wonder why they chose to do... Can't get much closer to Mexico, huh? Yeah, dude, that's literally Mexico across the river. Yeah. I've always wondered who lives in these houses right here. Like, can you imagine just waking up in the morning, look over there, it's like, oh yeah, that's Mexico over there. And I get it, those are houses on the Mexican side, I understand. It's a defendable position. It's got a moat. I mean, you're not wrong. Why this spot? That's what I was gonna ask, and then I thought of something. Engine testing. Yeah, engine testing. You want a place that's far away to test engines. Yeah, that's got to be it. I mean, you know, like Zach says, you know, Raptor testing and maintenance facility, and if they're bringing in the tanks, that means that means they want to hot fire some Raptors. I don't think. I mean, I'm no doctor here, but I'm pretty sure that there's not really anything in that, you know. I don't think anybody's really going to care if you fire a rocket engine in this area. It's not like there's many people around. Easier to ship things in by river? They're not going to ship it up the Rio Grande, fellas. No way. Not when you have Port of Brownsville right there. Port of Brownsville is a deep water port. There's no way. There's no point in doing that. That doesn't make any sense. And then SpaceX even built they lobbied for this infrastructure here to build this heavy-duty road that connects Highway 4 to Port of Brownsville. And for anybody else that wants to know, Rio Grande literally means big river in Spanish. Just in case you wanted to know. Yeah, Brownsville is a scrapping port. Aircraft carriers, like that one. That's not an aircraft carrier, but you get the idea. If a starship explodes in the debris lands in Mexico, will Mexico be mad? I don't think so. In Scandinavian or Swiss, I don't know which one, there's a gun range over a highway. Cool. The Kitty Hawk in these pictures? I don't think so. These pictures are a little bit older. But you could definitely see the Saratoga and stuff in here if you know where to look. You'd know on the timeline. Oh, man. Oh, man. 60. Saratoga, I think. That is big sads, chat. That's not okay. That's not okay. Here, no, if we just look at it backwards, they're assembling a ship, not taking it apart. Where'd it go? Come back. Where'd you go? No, stop this. You can use it or something for things or whatever. Just Nope. All right, that's enough of that. Yep. Okay, we don't need to look at that anymore. Anyway. They made it into refrigerators. It was an aircraft carrier. Could have been awesome, but no. It's had to make it into refrigerators, damn it. Yeah, that's what Brownsville does if you're into gore. Yeah, that's what they do. Anyway, what else is Zach looking at? SpaceX appears to be partially rethinking a no water deluge concept. Yeah, I had a feeling they might do that. Anyway. Hey, Starship Addicts, I think I may have found the reason Ship 24 aborted the most recent static fire attempt. Check out the damage to the CH-4 pipe on RVAC 65, which was removed from Ship 24. Yeah. Yeah, I heard something pop in that cast. I heard something pop. Something broke, and I heard it, and yeah, I don't know if it was that, but yeah. Definitely heard something go boop, you know. Sorry, the camera's being a little strange. Get back here. There we go. Yeah, they were, after the aborted static fire at SciZap, while NSF was talking, I heard something go just like that. And yes, it sounded exactly like that, I swear. It's more likely that Massey is going to be an engine testing site. More likely than what? When we just said it was going to be an engine testing site, Creeper? So you're saying that Massey is more likely going to be an engine testing site than an engine testing site? More and more likely. Oh, so saying it twice, it adds to the likeliness. It adds to the likeliness. It's just like if you have two factors of safety, that's twice the safety, right? It's twice as much safety. Some people think it's just going to be a storage staging site. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, some people are wrong. I mean, why would they move methane tanks there? Well, Creeper, Mama's wrong again. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right. Mama's right. Mama's right! They're marked as LN2 tanks from another angle. Interesting. Interessante. I'm out of the loop. What's the status of SLS? RB, what happens when you have a pinched gasket on an oil pan? Do you know? You'll buy that Chevrolet, it looks crazy. Ilya, it's disgusting. Nihorosho. Это нехорошо. Bad. 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 Yeah, it self-lubricates. So the hydrogen seat on the quick disconnect, a seal on the hydrogen quick disconnect catch can is leaking above expected flow rates, above expected leak rates. The gasket the seal didn't seat correctly for whatever reason. NASA needs to figure out why. It didn't seat correctly, so it leaked. Like pinching a gasket, same idea. Also, see this right here? Why in the hell did Chevy decide to make the front end look like this? Why? 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 What? Why? Why would you do this? Why would you make it look like an Aztec? You know the last time they did this, Pontiac went belly up, right? What? Why? Why? Guys. I know that Pontiac Aztec was a bad idea, but what if we make our trucks? What if we make our trucks have that? What if we make the trucks have that? Why does GM keep doing that? Just that. The rest of the truck looks great. This what is it? What? It looks like a train. It's ridiculous. Hear me out, Aztec with a truck bed. It's like they're trying to make it look stupid. You're just jealous Chevy won in NASCAR. That's fine. Yeah, no, winning in NASCAR is one thing, but Bandit, that truck is ugly. Don't try to deny it. No, the NASCAR's over here. Don't try to deny it. It looks horrible. It looks horrible. Like, just terrible. Why would you do... Somebody at Chevy looked at that and said, yep, this is fine. This looks great. Somebody did that. Somebody actually did that. And then everyone agreed with them. What the heck is wrong with you? Like, what? It looks horrible. It looks terrible. It's just, what? Somebody's like, yeah, that looks fine. It looks great. No, it doesn't. It looks horrible. Mustang Mach-E. Well, RB, you say that like you say that like I like the Mach-E, like I think it doesn't look like a shoe. What is this? Why do they keep making cars that look stupid? Like the Mach-E looks like a high top sneaker. All right. Because people keep buying them. You're driving the hell out of them, though. Yeah, because they want them to have a quicker death. Because the front of the truck Taycan looks like a face that says, "Kill me, kill me, please." Maybe that's the point. What, Eagle? I thought they stopped making Mustangs. I thought they stopped making them. They did. Yeah, that's right. My internet technician looks suspiciously like you today. Were you by chance in Alabama like an hour ago? If I said yes, Arsenal, what would you say? I'm everywhere. I say teleporter. I would say Starship Planet to Planet is actually working, unlike my expectations. Yeah. You know, that's the kind of beauty of just being very kind of generic looking. I look like everybody else. It's pretty sweet. You can just be stealth about things. Thoughts on the new Tundra? Toyota Tundra. Let me see, Benno. Interesting sides up. You know, Benno, I don't hate it. I don't like the grill. I'm not going to lie. But basically from like here back looks very nice. That's a very nice looking truck from basically the lights back. It looks great. This though, yeah, that doesn't fit with the rest of this. That looks pretty, though. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, that's nice. I don't mind Toyotas, dude. Toyota makes good trucks. Straight up, Mr. America over here. Toyota makes a great truck. You know why? Because they're made here. It's true. You could say it's not, but it is. Swap the grill for an old Rolls Royce grill. Benno, I like it with the grill. I like the, if anything, that trim level looks the best for me. I think that looks good. Yeah, the Toyota trucks are made here. They make Tacomas and Hiluxes and all this other stuff here. Maybe not Hiluxes. I don't know that for sure. But yeah, all the trucks are made here. They're made in the South. They make them in actually not in the South. I think it's in Indiana if I remember right. You've been talking about a turbine EV. Ah. Gas turbine range extender. It's almost like your boy has been on through it for, I've been saying that for years, man. Best application, dude. Gas turbine. Yeah. Toyota makes good cars, dude. Like, straight up. That's, yeah, nothing else to say. Still like my Fords, but Toyota makes a good car. Absolutely. They always have. Really, they always have. I can't remember a time where Toyota didn't, like, made a piece of junk. With the exception of, like, from what I understand, the early 4Runner engines were kind of, but, I mean, all right. It's not like Toyota doesn't have a sterling reputation for making engines that are absolutely indestructible. Tacomas are made in San Antonio. Cool. Yeah, see, Texas truck. Can't lose. Can't lose. A Texas truck. It's made by people in Texas. It's gonna be good. My truck was made in Texas, to be honest with you. The 59 Winter Scythe was made in Dallas. It's a Dallas truck. And you know what? I am very, very proud that I own a truck that was manufactured in Texas. I'm very proud of that. You have no idea how happy that makes me. Anyway, shall we play F1 Manager? Stuff is happening with 7.1. Oh, all right, let's take a look. JSP's like, I was manufactured in Texas. Yeah, but you are in fact not a truck. All right, let's see. What's going on here? What are your thoughts on the Kia Stinger? Yeah, it's alright. It's a good first attempt at making a car that's not just a car. Excited to confirm that we'll unveil the all-new 7th generation Ford Mustang on September 14th at the Detroit Auto Show. It's a stunning car and I'm excited to share it with the world. Did it pop? Hang on, let's back it up a little ways. Okay. See. They're not launching anytime soon, Ilya. Something is wrong with the hydrogen fuel line.